Hey gang, today we're going to do Stevie Ray Vaughan's Pride and Joy. It's always super difficult to do Stevie Ray Vaughan. First because it's difficult to play and get exactly the right tone and all that. And I never claim to get exactly that. I just try and get close. Another thing that's a pain is you got to tune down. So this is tuned down a half step. I hate doing that, but I never hear the end of it if I don't do it. So to play this lesson, to go through this lesson, you're going to have to tune your guitar down a half step. So tune it to E flat instead of E, etc. All right, we'll see it with the note for note in just a second. All right, gang, we're going to go over this note for note. You'll want to download the tab below. It's going to help you out quite a bit. We're going to go over this in 3 different parts. The first part's the intro. The second part is the boogie, or the main riff, if you will. That part. And then the last part we'll just call the lead. That part. Okay, so the first thing is you'll want to have that shuffle engine. If you look at the right hand for just a second here, you want that shuffle engine. So this is a blues shuffle. The second and fourth beats are emphasized, and they're just a little bit lagging. So it's kind of like this. All right, so that's the kind of the feel that we're going for. All right, let's do the intro first. The intro is going to start out by a slide from the, we're going to be playing double stops on the second and first strings. So this is all involving the second and first strings. And we're going to start out by playing a slide from the third to the fifth on the second string, which will unison the first string, like so. All right, and you get 4 of those. The first one is a little bit long in timing. Okay. Then at the end of it, you're going to just essentially do a thwack, and this should be with an upstroke. Okay. The next part is going to be this right here. Okay, we're going to be playing. Okay, and this is, again, a double stop on the first 2 strings. We're going to be playing on the second string, the 8th fret, first string, the 7th fret. And on the second string, we're going to be bending that up slightly as we play this, like so. At the end of it, of course, we give a little thwack. Then we come back to our first lick. This time we're going to play it a few more times. Okay? And we will end it up with this little lick right here. So this is a bend up on the, this is a typical blues lick here. And this is a blues shuffle in E. So what we're going to do is we're going to bend up on the 2nd fret, 3rd string. About a whole step, but it's hard to bend that up, so just do the best you can. Then you pull off to open and hit the 2nd on the 4th string. And that's it. Here it is slowly. All right, here is the boogie part, and this is kind of like the main, I think the main piece in the intro. So what we have going on here is 2 separate things. We've got the boogie part, which is this. All right, and then we've got the thwack part, which is just kind of like a rhythm, which is this. Okay, so the key to this, I think, is to make those boogie notes really stand out, and the thwack part, those are all going to be on downstrokes, so you play them really hard, and the thwack part is kind of on upstrokes, okay, so like so. Here it starts with an E boogie, and the E boogie I'm going to refer you to the tab to get the notes exactly, but if you can watch my left hand very closely, it's like this. Okay? So, and then interspersed with that, what we're going to do is I'm going to deaden my, or what I'm going to do is I deaden my, on my left hand, I deaden the top 3 strings and just kind of rake back on, or top 4 strings and just kind of rake back on that. So like so, with my first finger. So like so. Oops. This is one of those things I actually find more difficult when I play slowly because the thwack just doesn't work so well. But the key thing is to make sure that you really emphasize those boogie notes. Now at the end of it, we play a little 2-chord sequence. It's this right here. And what that is it's the 3 top strings, 3, 2, and 1. We're just going to bar at the second. Then play them all open. And it sounds terrible until you play it fast when it sounds great. Okay? And then just 2 E chords right there. Okay. Now the only tricky part about this is when you're playing that is to keep that rhythm for sure. But once you get the hang of the thwacking, it's not so bad. But the tricky part is that when you come back into the boogie, you start on the second note, not the first, like so. I'll play it as slowly as I can. Like so, okay? Then we go to the A, and it's basically the same pattern there with the same thwacks. Back to E. All right, and that is it. All right, one more time fairly slowly, and then we'll move on to the last part. All right, now let's do the lead lines at the end. These are kind of typical, but with a couple of little twists from Stevie. First, I'm going to play it through slowly. We start out with a couple of nice slides. This line right here. All right, so this is a typical slide on the 3rd string, 2 to 4, and then playing the 3rd on the 2nd string, like so. We do that 3 times. Then a quick slide down from 4 to 2, and a pull off. All right, and then a couple of open strings and hitting that 5th on the 2nd. Now here's an interesting line. So on the 4th string, we're coming up to we walk up to the 2nd fret. On the 5th string, we walk down from the 2nd fret after hitting an open note. So that's an interesting little twist that I like about this. Little hammer on and pull off. And then finally, here's the last line. Okay, starts out with a little open string on the 6th, 2 open strings on the top 2, so we're doing 2 triplets there. Now, if you can play that little slide, I'm sliding up to this little double stop here, which is on the third string, we're playing the fourth. On the second string, we're playing the third. I slide up from a fret down. And if you can slide it twice, that's good. I think Stevie didn't do that. I think he just played the triplets because he's playing that speed. All right, but you need to play triplets on those. Okay, then a little slide down to the second, same thing that we did before. Sixth string, ending up on that B note for that B7 chord. And that's it for the solo. So we've covered the intro, we've covered the boogie woogie part, and we've covered the notes at the end. Hope you enjoyed this one, gang. We'll see you on down the road.